Hello and welcome to the Annual General Meeting of Shareholders of Invesco Limited. Please note that today's meeting is being recorded. It is now my pleasure to turn today's meeting over to Rick Wagner, Chair of the Board of Directors of Invesco Limited. Mr. Wagner, the floor is yours.
Thank you and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rick Wagner and I'm the Chair of the Board of Directors of Invesco Limited. It's my pleasure on behalf of Invesco to welcome you and to express our appreciation to you for attending the 2026 Annual General Meeting of Shareholders. As you are aware, the company is conducting this meeting virtually. This year's annual meeting, we will offer 4 proposals for our shareholders' consideration. After a brief discussion of the proposals, shareholders will be given an opportunity to ask questions regarding the proposals through the website hosting this meeting before we proceed with any online voting. We will then announce the preliminary results for each proposal and adjourn the meeting. I would like to acknowledge Andrew Schlossberg, the company's CEO, and other members of the Board of Directors who are attending this meeting. Also attending our annual meeting are members of the Invesco Executive Leadership Team and representatives of PricewaterhouseCoopers. Now we will proceed to the voting portion of our meeting. We have already made available to each shareholder a copy of the proxy statement for the 2026 Annual General Meeting of Shareholders and the 2025 Annual Report on Form 10-K, which includes the audited financial statements for the company for the fiscal year ended December 31st, 2025. The audited financial statements are hereby laid before the Annual General Meeting as required by Bermuda law. Copies of these documents are available on the website hosting this meeting. Resolutions were adopted by the Board of Directors of Invesco, providing for the meeting to be held virtually at this time and directing that notice be given as provided in our bylaws. The Board also fixed March 16th, 2026 as the record date for determining persons entitled to notice of and to vote at this meeting. On the basis of the reports of the Secretary and the Inspector of Elections, proper notice of this meeting has been given and a quorum is present, either attending virtually or represented by proxy. Accordingly, this meeting has been properly convened. All resolutions put to a vote at this annual general meeting shall be decided upon by electronic poll. After I've briefly highlighted each of the matters to be acted upon at this meeting, we will open the floor for discussion regarding the proposals. At the conclusion of the discussion of these items, we will take the vote. The business of this meeting is limited to the 4 matters set forth in the notice of this meeting. First proposal we will consider is the election of directors. The Board has nominated Sarah Bashar, Tom Fink, Todd Gibbons, Bill Glavin, Beth Johnson, Andrew Schlossberg, Nigel Scheinwall, Paula Tolliver, Rick Wagner, Chris Womack, and Phoebe Wood to each serve a 1-year term as director, which term would expire at the Annual General Meeting of Shareholders to be held in 2027. Information concerning each director nominee is contained in the proxy statement. No nominations may be made at this meeting, therefore I declare nominations to be closed. The second proposal we will consider is an advisory, non-binding vote to approve the compensation of our named executive officers for 2025 as disclosed in the proxy statement. The third proposal we will consider is the appointment of PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP as independent auditors for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026. The fourth proposal we will consider is the amendment of the company's 4th amended and restated bylaws to allow shareholders to remove a director with or without cause. I will now open the floor to discussion of the 4 items of business under consideration. If you have a question, please submit it by clicking on the Q&A icon in the upper right side of the page. Greg Tetron, head of our Investor Relations Department, will read out any questions and the company will seek to address those questions. The company may not answer every question submitted due to time constraints or due to the question not being relevant to the meeting. The company will seek to follow up with shareholders after the meeting with respect to unanswered questions. Greg, are there any questions for us to address regarding the proposals?
Mr. Chairman, there are no questions relevant to the proposals.
Thank you very much. We will now proceed to voting on the proposals. Please note that if you've already voted, there's no need for you to recast your vote. Any shareholders online wanting to vote and who duly signed into this virtual meeting may now do so by clicking the vote link on the website. We'll pause for a minute to allow online voting. Thank you for voting. The polls are now closed. Based on the preliminary report of Mr. Chris Coleman of Computershare, the duly appointed Inspector of Elections for this annual meeting, all director nominees have been re-elected to the Board of Directors. Our shareholders in an advisory non-binding vote have approved the compensation of our named executive officers for 2025 as reported in the proxy statement. Our shareholders approved the appointment of PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP as independent auditors for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026. And our shareholders approved the amendment of the company's fourth amended and restated bylaws to allow shareholders to remove a director with or without cause. There being no further business to come before this meeting, I hereby declare the 2026 Annual General Meeting of Shareholders of Invesco Limited to be closed. On behalf of the Board of Directors and management of Invesco, I would like to again express our appreciation to our shareholders who attended this meeting, as well as those who submitted their proxies but were not able to attend. Thank you.
This concludes the meeting. You may now disconnect.